everyone. I hope you're having a great spring. And my name's Brenda, if we've never met before. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit about my knitting journey. And if you don't want to listen to this, you're welcome to fast forward to the tutorial. So my mom taught me to knit with needles when I was about 10. And I was never as quick as she was. She was quite the fast knitter. And so that's where my love for knitting started. Also, then fast forward years later, my mom was on hospice with Parkinson's disease. And I saw an ad for a hand knitting class with chunky yarn. So I signed up for that, not knowing during the time my mom would pass away. In fact, in that year, I lost both my mom and my beautiful sister. And it was a blessing to me that I signed up for that class, because it gave me purpose and a passion. And that was over 6 years ago. So that's just a little bit about my journey with knitting. And I hope you enjoy my tutorials. If you would like to see more new patterns, please subscribe to my channel. And let's get started. So today I'm going to show you a ribbed butterfly cable blanket, and this is what it will look like. And it'll be about 40 inches wide, and I'm just going to show you a portion of it so that you can get the pattern down. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so here are my favorite things to use. I thought I'd just show this real quick, and it's just your basic measuring tape to measure your width and length of your blanket. My favorite scissors to use for the yarn, and my favorite lighter that I use for burning. I'll put the links in the description below for the scissors and lighter. Today I'm using the Michaels Bernat Blanket Big yarn in ivory. And here is the pattern that I'm going to use. It's the rib butterfly cable. And so for today's pattern, we are going to do a cast on chain of 32. So let's go ahead and do the chain. So leave a little bit of a tail. Do your slip knot. You put your working yarn over the front of the tail. Take your thumb and finger and pull that working yarn through and pull the tail tight to create your slip knot. This pattern is more of an intermediate pattern, in my opinion. So if you've done, a lot of blankets, this will be super easy for you. And also, if you've watched my cable, butterfly cable video, this is just going to be a version of that. Instead of the pearls, I'm going to show the rib knit stitch. So there's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Also, if you're new to hand knitting, I make the chains 3-finger widths. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Now what we're gonna do is flip this over. Flip your chain over and go through the middle of the back of the chain to pull your stitches through. So right here, right here, right here. Here we go. We have our last stitch, first one there. Take your index finger and thumb, grab the yarn and pull it through. These stitches we're going to make a little bit smaller. They are 2-finger widths. So we're just going to keep taking this little part in the middle, sticking our finger and thumb through and pulling the stitch out. And at the end we should have 32 stitches. Don't miss any of the loops. You'll be able to tell if you did. They should be evenly spaced. So here we go. If you do your cast on chain too tight, it will curl. That's why I do a loose 3-finger widths for the chain. And I'm going to go ahead and probably show you about 6 to 8 rows of the pattern, just so that you get it down good. The butterfly stitch is a fun stitch to do. It takes a little more yarn than your regular blanket, but when you do it with the knit stitch, it doesn't take as much yarn. So let's go ahead and start our second row. But first we'll count the stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 32. Don't forget to count that end stitch. All right, now we are going to knit 2. And actually for this row, we are going to knit 2 and then the first 4 here, the first set of 4 after your knit 2, you're going to take the second stitch and knit it before that first stitch. Take the first stitch, knit it over the second. Take the 4th stitch, knit it over the 3rd, and then knit the 3rd. So that's the start of your butterfly cable. we are just gonna knit 2 again. Now we're back to the set of 4 for your butterfly cable. Remember, always knit the second one first, closest to the other knit stitch. Don't forget this first one, then you'll knit that. Then you'll take the 4th one, cross it over the 3rd and knit it. And then knit the last one. So it is the cable, the rib, the 2 knit stitches are gonna break up the 4 butterfly cable stitches. Now we're gonna knit 2 and we're back to the butterfly one. So again, use it as a set of 4. Take the second one, knit that first underneath that first one. Take the first one and knit it over the second. 4th one and knit it over, cross it over the 3rd, and then you knit the 3rd one last. I know it seems a little bit weird at first, but once you get the pattern going, knit 2, it will look very nice. So here we go. And we're gonna do the butterfly again. So knit the second, knit the first over the second, the 4th over the 3rd, and knit the 3rd. Another knit 2. Okay, so we're gonna do one more of the butterfly. So here's our 4 stitches again. Second one first, first over the second, 4th over the 3rd, and then knit the 3rd, then knit 2. All right, so now going back, we are gonna knit all of our stitches. So when you're knitting from right to left, it will be all knit, okay? So we're gonna knit every stitch going to the left. For me, I think the ivory and the pale gray are my favorite 2 colors for this pattern. And I always try to keep my stitches about the same size and close to each other when I knit them. So you don't want to leave a lot of slack in the back of this. So when you're going through a stitch, you take your index finger and pull it through and a thumb finishes it. That's always how I knit. And that way the stitches stay close together and you don't have any big slacks in the back. I want to say thanks again for joining me today, and I just so appreciate you. Okay, knit our last stitch, and now we're going to go ahead and go back. So knit the edge and knit the second one. And so now is where we're going to go back to the pattern of the butterfly, 4 stitches. Second one, knit first, first over the second. You leave the 3rd, but you take the 4th over the 3rd and knit it, and knit the 3rd last. Knit 2 rows, 2 rows of stitches. Again, we're starting our 4. Second one first, first, second, fourth, and third. Knit 2, and then back to the cable of the butterfly. Second, first, fourth crossover, third. Okay, so I think another couple rows and you will be good for this pattern. Knit 2, again the cable for the butterfly. Knit the second one first, first over the second. So the second stitch always goes to the right. The fourth stitch always goes to the left. And then you knit the third stitch last. Knit, knit. Again with the butterfly stitch. Fourth, third, knit, knit. And that's going to be the pattern until your desired length. You can see how it is going to be the butterfly cables and the ribbing in between. So now I'm just going to knit all the way across. I learned something new a while back and I wanted to share it with you. Let me finish this row first. And okay. Knitting this whole row until the end. And then you're going to cast off. Well, I mean, I would cast off if this was the end. If you never learned to cast off, you'll want to check out my beginner video, and I'll also link that in the description below. The tip that I wanted to show you here is that what I used to do, I used to just do a knot and weave it in and sew it with needle and thread. A while ago, I found out whoopsie, that you can burn your ends in. So you trim off the end, feel the cord in the middle, and take it and push it into the chain. That will then fuse it to your cast on chain, and you can do the tug test. No needle and thread, and you can do the same at the end of the blanket. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and again, if you like to see my videos, and I have a bunch of new patterns coming up, please subscribe to my channel and you will be first to see it. Happy knitting!